Hi, this is Ranjan Goenka. In this video, I will be talking to you about employee reference number or deductee reference number that is applicable in TDS returns. Well, both employee reference and deductee reference is not mandatory to be used, but actually it is being used by many deductors and is very useful. When we talk about employee reference number, we are talking about the salary returns, and when we talk about the deductee reference, we are talking about the non-salary returns. Both actually mean the same in this context, but just to explain what it is. This reference number is actually the internal identification of either the employee or the vendor. Basically, department recognizes the employee or the vendor by the PAN number. But internally, an organization who is actually filing a return recognizes the employee or the vendor by some kind of their own internal reference, which actually is there in the ERP system or maybe some kind of internal systems that may be having. So ultimately, their identification is based on that. There are many instances where the PAN number is the same, but actually the company or maybe the deductor treats it as two different entities. A typical example in case of salary is maybe, there are two persons working having two different PAN numbers. They could be husband and wife. One of them, actually dies. Now, what happens? The other one starts getting family pension. And the family pension that one is getting from that organization, again, the PAN number is there of the person who is surviving, but employee reference number was of the deceased. So basically, maybe the income is all getting clubbed together in the PAN number in the eyes of the Income Tax Department. But when it comes to the accounting purposes, the organization who is filing a return needs to recognize both of them separately. Similarly, when it comes to even regular, organizations, vendors, maybe they have 2 or 3 proprietorship companies with the same proprietor. Maybe they're dealing in different items with different departments. So actually, they are 3 different vendors in the eyes of the company, but their PAN number can be the same. At times, what happens if you are trying to track with the deductee reference or the employee reference, so when the information moves to the Income Tax Department and when the information comes back from the Income Tax Department in any form, every transaction has the reference of what was submitted along with the regular returns to the Income Tax Department. In a very simple explanation, like whatever information you pass on to the Income Tax Department, whether the department returns you back TDS certificates, so every TDS certificate will have the reference number printed over there. In case you are downloading the console file for correction purposes or any other purposes, so whatever reference numbers you have entered against each transaction actually comes back to you as it is. So this is very useful to take the data and try to collate it with your back office systems so things are better managed and controlled in the enterprise. So this is the basic purpose. It is completely non-mandatory, but if someone wants to make use of it, it can be very useful. Thank you for your time. I hope this video was useful to you.